Hello and welcome to the next episode of the Star Series, which is about this Lego room and of course my life. Now this is part of the little mini series that we've been doing, basically revamping everything. We have done all of this so far. We've got all of this in. I think this looks really neat and tidy, and we have finally found a home for the D&D stuff. But then here onwards still needs a bit of work. So that's what we're going to be trying to achieve in today's upload, along with quite a few other little bits and pieces. We want to try and get the Star Wars bits sorted out. All the units underneath need to be flat packed, removed and gone. And Ninjago is going to finally have a new home. And then that will allow me then to get down on the floor, get the different bits and pieces built. And we've got room for expansion, which is spot on. Up here, we've got all of the artwork, and we have added in the nice bits and pieces for Gotham. So we've started to add in some minifigures and some vehicles. So as we go, we will be adding a little bit more detail to all of those bits and pieces. The Joker Manor is not staying on a box of DVDs. That is going to be up on the Harry Potter coaster frame. So keep your eyes peeled for that upload. That's going to be a good bit of fun. And then we've added sort of more of just a street type bit, because that's what they have in all of the different theme park settings. So today, the plan of attack is to try and find a home for the Jurassic Park gates, the Rivendell. We need to figure out how we're going to do this Star Wars display up top, go through all the boxes, pull out the Snake Mountain and get that behind the He-Man castle. So more than likely it's all going to have to be moving as a triangle. So there's lots of stuff to move, quite a few things probably to smash. And of course, the thing that you can't see is I can't walk, because all of this stuff is on the floor from the things that we've been pulling out and doing. But hopefully by the end of this upload, everything will be in its location, and then we can just carry on doing like we did with this. So we can spend a good day just getting all of this together, like we did with the bit going across the top, and of course like we did over there. So with a very, very sketchy plan in place, let's get to it. So I think we might have to start on the floor, because I really cannot move whatsoever. Now, there is a Harry Potter castle. That is the micro scale, huge Harry Potter thing that we did try up on the very weird upload in the last upload of just trying to figure out different homes for different pieces, and nothing was working. And then a light bulb went off, and now we're doing this. So this actually does need to go back in there, but that will actually go in there last, because when there's nothing on this table and the stuff underneath this table will move over there, it then means I can get into that unit, open it up, put the castle back, and then potentially have a look through the architectural sets in this upload as well, because I want to create a mini land. Now, it's a theme, it's actually the first ever display I did. It sounds crazy, but it was actually just here. I took near enough a whole table up, and I thought it looked really nice. I had the Colosseum at the back, the big Colosseum at the back. Then I wrapped it round with all of the modular sets, or the architecture sets, sorry. But now they've really progressed on with that kind of thing. I had about 6 stud wide to add in all the minifigures, did it all mixed up with dark grey, light grey footpath, and it looked like it would do at a actual Legoland Miniland park. So I have got to think as we go around, would that look nice on this table up top? If it went on this table up top, it would just be a one and done, much smaller table. And if that is the case, then the Rivendell would have to go underneath, and that would potentially then merge in with Ninjago, and then that leaves a little bit of room, I think, for expansion maybe. But until that's clean and clear, I'm not 100% sure, because the other thing is underneath the table, like I said, it goes the architecture sets, and that they could be layered, but I'm just not too sure, because this table is a standalone table and it does need to move from time to time. So I am thinking if I just had some things that were easy to move off it, or just pull it out gently, not the Ninjago that would fall off the table or falling through the Ninjago table, that brings back horrible memories, then we should be okay with that. But that will be future upload later on today, depending on how far we get. But I just need to get some foot space done. So I've got upload going up on the laptop. This is Ninjago, that's Ninjago, that's Ninjago. All of this will be going underneath that table, resting on that tabletop. And then I've got to see if I've got another tabletop, because we're going to put tabletops on the floor. It's all been painted, and then we're going to add in a load of really nice bright lighting and have a really nice display for Ninjago mixed in with Monkey Kid, because we've got that type of thing for expansion. And I can just see if I can do 2 tables for that. I think we've got 3 tables of space for something on the other side. So it just depends on if we want to be different and have the architecture sets up top and have Rivendell underneath, or vice versa. So lots to do, lots to think about, and also now lots to move. So I need to create some sort of space somewhere. These two boxes basically are just in the way. So I can move these two boxes, then we can crack on and go from there. So you can go up on there. You're wobbling a bit, and we'll just see, get that out of the way, see what we can do. We can see what we can do. So this is just a box of stuff. So that box of stuff can literally just be thrown there for now, because there's boxes of things that are in the way, there's stuff that needs to be tidied. You know how it goes. That could go on here, but this is working away, and I need that to carry on doing what it's doing. It's not ideal. Right. Because as soon as that unit comes out, we'll have a lot more, there we go, we'll have a lot more space. Now I have found, and this was the plan of the other upload, which never happened, to go through all the minifigures. So we've still got to do that upload, get all the minifigures, that's just burst open, get all the minifigures in situ, because, well, that is, I know exactly what that is. That is an exclusive Harry Potter minifigure from the castle. I had no idea where they were, so she's hiding in there somewhere. I have all sorts of different bits and pieces in here. I've got loads and loads of different bits and pieces, so they can, that can just stay there for now. This needs to move. This is my very uncomfortable seat. There we go. Right, so first thing that needs to happen is all of the stuff that's on these units just need to come up to the top, and then our focus point will be this table first. Like I said, I want it like this. What's really annoying me is obviously I've had to put the Rivendell in the wrong place, because I think this is starting to take shape. We've added in some vehicles, it still needs a tidy, and it's always a work in progress, but we've got so many minifigure bags, it's unhealthy. So there's loads and loads of minifigures down here, because you just end up, because I move stuff so many times and a box will split, something will go wrong, and it's just, well, not ideal. So that's another minifigure bag to go through. So I'm going to bring you back over here, and we're going to pick up all of those very, very quickly, and just hopefully we will be able to get all of these bits and pieces out relatively quick. Now, we have got all sorts. We do not want to get those mixed up, so they can go with the cantina. So you can stand there. The other one can stand there. I don't even know what they're doing out. She can go back up there. So they're all together. That I don't know if I should just have that as an Easter egg to Indiana Jones, or just not actually have anything else and have this more of a serious section, or not. I'm looking at more minifigures. Right, I've got space track. So again, got to think of what we're going to do with all the spacey stuff, because some of the space rise. I've got all the track here. All of this could potentially go, I don't know, it goes with the X-Men. Does it go with something else? That is a Cheeky Monkey ride. That is part of the Monkey Kid waterfall. That waterfall is massive, by the way. It's beautiful, beautiful looking thing. Right. We were in the process of putting this thing together. So all the legs are on. So that will be used in this display somewhere. Gaming truck, that could just be thrown anywhere, because that would just be a nice thing to have. It's a nice bright colour. To be honest, that could fit in there, so that will be, we'll leave that one there. So I'm definitely going to forget about that, but we can make a nice little display, I think, because we've got the loop coaster and the carousel, so that can go in our adding details video, I think that'll be, which is never going to happen. Little Halloween, we know where that's going to go. Put that there, and we can make that fit. Anything Tatooine based, yes, so that is staying on the display, so that is staying. That is staying, that is staying, that's not, that can go away. Even though it would look nice, it's just not going to work. This is very, very detailed. So this is staying. Fantastic. Well, I drop it. Stay, do not fall off. Not easy trying to do this. Why am I doing it with one hand? There. This other stuff can go on the shelf, I think. Put Star Wars characters together on the base just there. That's the front of the truck. That is staying there. Just remembered actually how hard this was to get in this gap. And I've got a funny feeling I actually had to move the table you're on. So that is not going to be fun whatsoever. That is staying up here. Christmassy stuff. That is staying up here. Going. No. What are you doing down there? Tigger, back up with the Winnie the Pooh house. I've got stuff everywhere from where I do shorts, and I blame the cats, but normally it is me. So we've got this nice thing, which is the Emperor's throne room, but I don't think that's gonna, for now, could just be used for spare parts or something. It's not gonna get rejected, but it could be. Just don't think it'll work now coming into the Star Wars land. It's just all the wrong colour. Unless we can make a smaller display out of it. Right, next tan bit. That'll do. Perfect. That is that. I can see this being a very, very long process, to be honest. Ninjago will go there. Right, that's almost all of it clear. Can't really reach that, but put that there, put that there. Put that there. Right, this is where it's going to get very, very fruity. Very, very quickly, because this needs to come out. And then I'm going to start tidying this stuff on the floor in front. That obviously comes out. That table's got to go down first. Stack the Ninjago on there. Gives me space to put stuff underneath that table. Clear the floor up a little bit more. Pull some of that stuff out. See what's underneath there. Put it in its correct location. And then we can get on with this. And I will be adding and ordering some tan base plates, and hopefully they might go in right at the very, very end of this video. In fact, they will go in at the end of this video, because I want to make sure that this is achieved. So it might just jump, because what I probably end up doing is starting a different section, and then, yeah, magic trick in editing. So, enough waffling. You can go there. Now, there is going to be tears shed, I think, because I don't know how easy this is going to come out, because it's a swine, to put it politely. Very, very awkward and difficult. Oh, fantastic. Well, that's broken already. Good. Great. See what? Moved it for less than half a second, and we're smashing stuff already. It's so deceivingly big that it's got to come out at such a horrible angle. I've got my lights up here. So I had to pull something out quickly for an emergency a few weeks back, and it's just not had the time to put stuff back in. Keep your eyes peeled on that loop coaster, because I can see that shaking and wobbling away, and I know that is not going to end well. Now this, oh it is. Oh, well, not you. Need not the laptop, but not you. Right, so that is out. Question is, I don't know if it's going to go down the loft ladders, but I'm going to have to take the flipping thing apart. Only one way to find out. It seems to be my stupidity just gets worse and worse, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. I think it will go down the loft hatch. So if you hear any screams as I start to fall down, then obviously please let me know. Now I'm gonna have to go down vertically, which sucks, just sucks. So that's gonna have to come out. That's gonna have to come out. Do not do this at home. That goes down like that, and then we will see what we can do and achieve. Just need to move something at the bottom of these ladders. Quite steep, quite steep. Yeah, that really does suck. So these are now pretty much vertical, I'd say. So I have to go down hands free and basically hope for the best. If I can get it to here without smashing anything, and if it will go down, because the steps step out, and you've got the latch, and there's a wardrobe. How hard can it be? Now, I don't want to hit the laptop, I don't want to hit the lights, I don't want to hit any of the Lego sets, and I don't want to fall down the loft latch. Could have made life much easier for myself, I think. I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie. Not the way I wanted to do it, but it's the way it might be going down. Oh, what am I doing? What actually am I doing? Look, see. So we're getting there. I mean, it's there. It's just floating halfway up in the sky and not doing anybody any favours. Best place for disaster cam. I think that might be a good disaster angle. Maybe. I've got to fit behind this. I am so stupid. I am miles away from the floor, which is no good whatsoever. But I have fully committed now. Wish me luck. Bye everybody. That was really easy when it hit the floor. Ow. Ow, I didn't just fall down those loft ladders. Right, space. So obviously, like I said, it's filthy underneath there. We knew it would be. It got repainted and then it got forgotten about, which is just life. So I've got to figure out how many tabletops I can fit underneath and the angle that they can go. I'm going to just put the Star Wars stuff on that shelf and then tidy this way. And yes, the Ninjago will go on, because now I can actually climb into here. we've got a lot of other stuff. So down here, I think some of this is actually just recycling. I did, oh yeah, it will be. So I did a couple of comparison videos before. These are all to build. So we have got those Snow Trooper battle packs will go with the Winter Village. And then there's some other battle packs I think I need to pick up for this display. And then we've got to figure out what we're going to do with the T6, what we're going to do with the X-Wing, and just that kind of thing as well. And then this needs to be pulled out from here, and it will go over on that side over there. And then I can finally now get to, well, just piles and piles of different instructions and go through more minifigures. But this is just a single cube, so this one's not too much of a problem. And then that is all Christmas sets, because obviously we're in the process of putting all of that together. So until this is out, I can't put the I could actually use the, I could move the Christmas stuff underneath where the Ninjago stuff is. That way it's all clear, and then use this as the building bit for Ninjago and that bit over there for the building bit for Christmas. At least that way I can grab everything easier as well. Okay, that's the other problem. There's just no, it's just deceiving that it's more difficult than what it looks. More difficult than what it looks. Right, enough of me feeling sorry for myself. Thank you. Plonk you up there somewhere. Yes, I will give this a very, very quick tidy. I won't bore you with this because it won't be any Lego moving. I will pick all of these up, pick this up, and then we will grab the table and then start to figure out the best way to put it. Right, so the space has been made and I am absolutely roasting. So I need to grab that table just here. So I'll plonk you there again, and I just want to see if I can get this out without smashing anything else, what will work with regards to size and space. Now, the nice thing is, I don't forget this, because there's the shelf underneath there as well. We could double skin this if we needed to, but I just feel with the height of this will fit underneath here absolutely fine. Now, definitely can't go that way, because if it went that way, well, it just eats in too much there. And if the same thing came here, you could have a very, very small seated space. So that's not going to work, which means you're not going to be able to fit in two on the other way. So what are we going to be able to do? Because that one will, of all the things, get the drill out of the way and other bits and pieces. See, that goes in there all right. So to be fair, it doesn't look too bad down there either. That goes down there. It needs a bit of a wipe underneath, because where it's orange is just the brick dust, but there is metal flake in that paint. And then obviously we've got some nice height to the back. Now ideally I'd have another one. Now if I can't get another one, I've got to measure a metre back, which is, let's be honest, it's going to be to here. So I think I was about to say it would work perfectly well, because it's gonna kiss up. We would have 3 tables coming out this way. I could just push this one over so it meets, and it would be just add like half a table of display, and just have it as a bit of a wraparound. But we've gained the shelf all across the top for Monkey Kid sets, because they're probably the right size for that shelf. And then just have the larger Ninjago ones dotted around, because I don't think the Ninjago set will actually fit from here to underneath the shelf. Worst case, I could just raise the shelf up ever so slightly, or again just take it off. So that's not too much of a problem. But the problem is the brickwork, because you can see it kicks in there, and where it's yellow it kicks in there, and that's where the 3 tables go from. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, table 2 or 3, whatever it will be, which means it's going to be staggered. So we're going to have a 2 brick deep gap, which is literally this bit. So from that brick over, there's not going to be anything. So I've got to figure out what I can do with that and fill that in. Otherwise I'm going to have to cut something to fit, which is not going to be fun, but I've got some dividers of stuff, so I might be able to do something like that. But that is down, and it can only go that way. Clearly it can't go too deep, so I can just tidy up around it. I can now just put the boxes on there. This might now, I'll put the boxes there, put the Ninjago Lego on it, what is actually built, and then it will be good. But obviously I'm not going to do that until these bits start to get pulled out and get cleared, otherwise I'm just going to break everything again, aren't I? So we'll now carry on wrapping it round, see exactly what space we've got over on that side. And then, like I said, it should just be a quick, that goes to there, that's already up there. And I'll just put the tan base plates down. I said I was going to put the tan base plates down at the end, but depending on how long this video actually, depending on how long it takes me to get to this point, we'll see. Hopefully we will. Hopefully that is the plan. I don't see why it shouldn't. But yeah, that goes down to there. That gets pulled out. That gets moved over. That then goes underneath. But I can't go underneath until I've got the stuff out for the display that goes underneath here or on here. The more I think about it, the more I actually quite like the architecture sets on this table, because the half the table gets taken up by the Colosseum, and then after that you've got a couple of bits and pieces, and that just gives us expansion. And then what I can do is rotate the architecture sets that I've got, because I've got quite a few of them. I can just keep putting different ones in. There's no way I'm going to get all of them in, but I could make it as a proper mini land. So that, I think I'm sold on. Again, it's just a completely different land then. Mini land up top, Rivendell, Jurassic Park underneath, with Ninjago underneath, and then that's a home for everything, he says. Right, let's carry on. Let's get these out the way and just see what there is, because things like this, these were supposed to be meant for displays and backdrops. They can go back into their original location, and if that actually ever does come off, then we should be okay. So what have we got? We have got battle pack, which is perfect. That ship, which don't know if is it needed anymore. Some of these ships I'm not 100% sure. Some of them are already open, obviously I can't take those back. We got the transporter, which is fantastic, so that's great. Some other battle packs and things. So we've got one there, one there. Same battle pack again, so I've got multiple of them. Another battle pack there, and another battle pack there. They might not be for the right displays, but there's still minifigure packs that will come out. And then we have got, on this pile, what do we have? We have got the Boba Fett Slave 1 Starship, we're going to say both names, T6, and the X-Wing is the 3 that is down there. So I think I know what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to move all of them. A lot of shifting and moving of stuff. Right, recycling, 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 and recycling. Because I left all of these boxes for comparison videos, and I'm never going to get around to doing them. So rather than me trying to be clever with box comparison videos and all that kind of stuff, screw it. They can just get thrown. So that is, if I say thrown, they get recycled. Right, that means this cube is coming out. Pizza wagon, perfect. That can go with all the other bits and pieces. So this little singular cube can come out, and then we can start exploring what has actually been thrown behind here. Because I've got a bad feeling the stuff that's in here just needs to go into the cupboard at the back, because that is just the box. That is just obviously the box that I need to pull out. It's not as bad as I thought it was, which is great. That is fantastic. So this individual cube can find a new home. And by a new home, I mean it can just get placed out the way for now. Honestly, the best thing to do is actually now the Star Wars. So I will get this now in situ, and then we'll have it tanned at the end. I just don't have the tan base plates with me at the moment, but I'll make sure that they are down, fingers crossed, if they arrive in time before this video goes live. If not, it'll be the first thing you see on the next upload. Right, so I will utilise that box and move these. So these can go on here for now. Big fan of these colours, but just not going to work for what I want. And I'm taking a risk putting them there because they've got a small circular base and a rather large square, so if it falls off, these are going to smash. This thing is so heavy. Now this did go on top of the Ghostbuster firehouse. It did go on top of the Ghostbuster firehouse, but I just don't think we can get that to work. But there you go. You can't fit two of them on. You could, but it's going to have a massive overhang. That's how big those things are. Now, I've got to get the boxes up on here as well. I don't know which way to start this display. So we are now just going to be lucky dipping it and moving some bits and pieces. I potentially can see the Ninjago being moved, and that's why we finish this, because I've got quite a lot. It's going to take ages. I know it's just going to take hours and hours and hours. This upload can't be 3 hours long. Right, so I have got that, which I've shown off plenty of times, which I really like, and that is not moving from this location because I think you can get some nice photos and videography and all that kind of nonsense from there. But we do have the bait shop, which again is on a sand base with no water around it. So I don't know whether just to keep those two there and then start the next bit from it. The cantina and everything else is staying. So I think maybe for now we'll just keep that there and see if it will work. If it doesn't, I'm going to have to pick it up and potentially add it into the water with the Rivendell for the expansion underneath, because that's the only thing I can think of doing. Potentially that turbine fan. I bet it doesn't fit under the table either. That could potentially go underneath the table, and you've got all the green going into the water and all that kind of thing. So if we're doing that, I think we're going to have all the small buildings now dotted around coming into the bigger thing. Obviously the plan is to then have the coaster dotted around. So if I can get these spaced, fantastic. And then what I'll do is I just have to pick them up and put them back down again when the base plates arrive. I know it's the wrong way around of doing it, but I need to get them in the correct place, because I also need to get those boxes off the floor onto the side so I can actually utilise and use the ones that I want. So how far over can we go for this display? Because I don't know. I don't even know where to start on this, to be honest. I don't know where to start. I've been stumped a couple of times before and we've kind of figured it out, but with regards to the sizing of things, I just don't know. So obviously I think, timber. I think the throne room has to be open, doesn't it? I think we're going to have to go. Throne room needs to be open. I don't know if it goes side on. See, everything I touch just breaks. I didn't do anything. Oh, must be just too heavy-handed with all these bits. Where's that bit go? There, I think. No, I don't even know if you can see what I'm trying to do. My head can't figure out the way this is supposed to go. It's got to be in reverse. There you go, figured it out, done. So that mirrors up with that, that mirrors up with that. So we are putting this back on somewhere. It's now not going to fit. Oh, screw it. It's only going rough. Going rough. So yes, we can have it straight. Yeah, that just works. We'll do that. We'll go straight. That bit will go in there. Now, do we go cantina as an L, or do we carry on with the cantina as a strip? Because we can start adding things like this in straight away. And then instantly, it's starting to give that sort of feel of what it's supposed to be. No, that now definitely does not work. That definitely does not work there. So that is going to have to move. Decision made on that, which is a shame. Now, I know the truck is prepped ready for later, but this is going to have to go with the Rivendell underneath the table, I think. This is such a gorgeous set. I really want it on a show, but it's not going to work. Not going to work up there. Right. Another bit just popped off. This thing is huge. But can I make it work? No. Because the wall sticks out too much. I can't do it. I wanted that perfectly straight. Something like that. With it all tan. This hanging off from somewhere, so there's that and that will be flying, so they're not actually going to be on the table. And then we just have this huge thing just here, and then we've got the walker, and then we've got the coaster. Now the only thing I can think of is putting this stuff around the coaster, because it's not going to go around that. I can't really lift that up. I've tried and it just won't work. So I could potentially do that, because that is about that shape, and I could kind of make it go around. I just don't know if I like the bar closed and only half of it open, or if I want the whole thing open. Because it doesn't look bad with that bit behind it, and I think it kind of works if we go big into this. But I think that's where the coaster needs to be, and then we come into the much larger ship, I think. And then the other side of that ship is another diorama, because I can have this and this close by. All of that needs to come off, and we're going to be left with that up there, I think. Right, I need to grab a drink and I need to change the battery over. And I will try it with the coaster just to see if it fits for sizing. Right, the battery has been changed and I have had a quick drink, which is always helpful. Now, I think the only thing that we can do with that is maybe put something a little bit larger there. Now, there is a Jabba sale coming at some point, whenever, 24, 25. If that was raised up ever so slightly, I think that would be its own inclusive thing, and that would literally be a bar, photo opportunity area, and like a sky lounge, because we have always said we wanted a Lucas lounge basically within the theme park. And I think it just tucks in there nicely, because you've got the big Unchained Coffee just behind it. It looks nice. You can't see it from here because it's hidden, but then all you've got to do is just step and you can see it perfectly fine. That then leads on to this. I don't know whether to try and make up another diorama with this, or utilise the table for something completely different, and then just put this somewhere else. But this thing is so big, I just don't know. I just do not know where to put it, because I'm going to have the same problem if it goes back underneath. Because what I can do with the smaller stuff, with the ship-wise, they can come off the shelf. I can put some up against the wall if need be, or I can just sell some of them The ones that aren't open, like the Ghost, for example, I could sell that. The T6 is open, the Slave 1 is open. The X-Wing I wouldn't get rid of because that was a nice birthday present from Jay's Toy Collection UK, so I wouldn't be that mean. With regards to stuff that can go in, we could put all of the Troopers in, so they're all alright, they're alright, that's alright. That's a good photo opportunity. So yeah, all these kind of things I think would work well. But yeah, it's just getting them in there, maybe creating a big battle up, and if I'm going to do a big battle, that is going to be needed. So maybe that's the thing. Maybe we have a Lucas Lounge, and then we just have a full-blown diorama that is a walkthrough, like I did with the architecture. So it's all up there, everything's there, we have it all in, we have all these are in, and it all looks like they're fighting each other. We have all the correct coloured flooring down, and then we just make a path zigzagging around everything, and then eventually you just get taken into the next zone. And that way, the coaster won't work, but we've got a walkthrough, and we've got a lounge, which is obviously our eatery section for this land of the theme park, which all the others do have, because we could try and just recreate this, which is basically the Batman walkthrough, which I have actually done at the walkthrough attractions in LA. So over at Hollywood Studios, did that kind of thing. You just walk around the vehicles and everything. It's obviously all taped off and barred off. So that could be a very, very good option. It just depends on how far it comes over. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I think this will need to come, I think that wing basically needs to go against that yellow wall and angle it ever so slightly off, so we get as much of the middle table space as possible. And then I can just put all the base plates down, add in one or two of the smaller vehicles, and then I can start working out how the path would go. Again, we could just have an Easter egg because it's Lucas. We could just have this, for example, flying around, which is obviously the Indiana Jones plane. So yeah, we have got options, and we've got Disney underneath Disney now as well. So I think I can convince myself that will work, but it just needs to have a theme park feel. And I think the only way it can be done is going to be this walkthrough way of doing things. So again, the problem we've got is that we're drastically getting tight for space. We've got loads of space, but we're getting tight for me putting something somewhere else so I could move something. So we're going to have to make a definite pile. So this definitely needs to be finished as normal. The coaster will have to move. There's just lots of little bits and pieces that will have to move. Now again, I'm going to do that off camera because it's going to take me a while to put them. I don't want to throw them in just random places. I think the easiest thing for me to do is actually just put them in that cube and just cheat, just to speed this process up. Because when I can clear this table, Ninjago comes off, then I've got a table to put stuff on. So that's the problem at the moment. So let me just turn the camera off. I'm going to cheat a second, run forward and backwards like a headless chicken, put the stuff into that gap. Then we should just be able to move that over, see what space we've got up top, and then just go from there. Okay, so a bit of progress has been made. Top's been tidied-ish. I couldn't be bothered to bore you with that, and I didn't want to put it to a time lapse because it's just too hot up here, and I think this will affect the camera when it's this warm. So all the boxes have just been thrown together with regards to the battle packs and stuff that could potentially be used within this display. That's been moved over as far as it will go, and we can get either a footpath around the wings or underneath. We could do a display on one side, display on the other. Separating the two over, I think, looks a little bit better than them being super, super close. And of course, that just happens to be the same colours as the Winter Village. So we could do some silly things with that and put a Christmas tree, for example, on the inside, and it could be a oversized Star Wars sleigh. We could do all sorts of weird and wonderful things, like what they're doing with the new Disney Plus show where everything is meant to be wrong on purpose. So we could have a black falcon going up against the blue wall or up on top. I have just thrown in some bits and pieces. Obviously, don't forget, it's all going to be base plated down. So that is up there. We've got the little plane. I just need to prop that up properly. The M1 will be hanging around somewhere, potentially. It could get lost and we can just set up the wrong dioramas. But no matter what this gets themed like, with regards to it being the new TV show or not, it's still going to be our sort of Lucas Lounge area, and I still want to get the sky bar in because I think that would look really, really nice up top eventually. And obviously that would be Jabba's sail barge, as long as it's this sort of scale. Now, I can swap these around. I could have that over that side and that over that side, but because it's a mirror image of this and the cantina there, with regards to the band, I think we can get away with it with just basically having half the bar on show and then just using this as the display, because it's going to get awkward otherwise, and then it's all opened up onto the inside. We can have one or two of the vehicles again. Well, we won't swallow the floor with vehicle space. I'm going to try and put them up and flying them around and doing bits and pieces. Now, you eagle eye people might have spotted that these have gone as well, because I have underneath here, obviously the table's in. All that stuff is just stuff that's not been touched. Coaster tracks over there. These are the Ninjago boxes. So obviously Ninjago is going to stay in these boxes and then get built up over on here. Now we know that everything in here will fit on here. And then where these boxes are will be where the next table goes, and then that'll be future expansion, and that is fine. Now, of course, we have got options of it potentially expanding that way if we wanted to. We can get a thinner top. We could do different bits and pieces that way, and it does go all the way underneath there. So if we wanted to do that, we could get quite a fair bit of Monkey Kid / Ninjago bits and pieces in, get some nice waterfalls in there and that kind of thing. I think that would look nice. Not giving you a kiss, you've got thumbprint on there. Yep, you all are good to go. Now, that means this is now going to move, which will then free up this tabletop. Then the next plan of attack will be to pull this out. Harry Potter goes in and all these other little bits and pieces go in. That box goes over there and the Rivendell will go here for now, just dumped. And then, of course, it will go underneath when I get these tabletops in. I have not looked yet to see if I have another tabletop, because if I do, that would have been quite helpful, because I could have used that nicely for spacing. But I want to just move all of this stuff first. So we'll get this stuff moved. Then I'll see if we've got another tabletop bit of space. And then I think, because this is going to take forever, I might do this as a separate upload. Or just do it off camera and then start afresh, because I know pulling this out and putting all the boxes and stuff in just takes a long time. And then, like I said, we're just going to keep working our way back down the middle, and it should be okay. Yes, it's just figuring out what we're going to do with this, how we're going to add the theming, what we're going to do with this. Are we going to make it as a Rebrick the World type thing, which is a huge nod, obviously, to the new thing that's going to be coming out in Disney. The coaster track could just go in the middle, but I just don't think that's going to work. I think a walk-through attraction and the sort of cantina type area with the bar and the food, I think that's the best way to go. Now, I don't know if I'm going to regret doing this, because as it stands right now, I could sit here and try and rebuild these. But at the same time, I might just lie down and rebuild them. It's a lot of pieces. I guess what I could do is maybe just use some of that table up top and rebuild them up on there. I just need this tabletop. I need it all clear, all pulled out, and figure out what is what. And depending on how bad the architecture sets are damaged, I could actually get this display in and done very, very quickly. I say very quickly, within one upload. But you can see where we've got to with regards to just this type of thing. So we have our rooftop bar, which I can't wait to put the rest of this together, because we're not far off getting that in and done, and then obviously adding this bit that goes up on top. We are missing quite a few pieces still, and of course that level is not even from that, so not exactly ideal. But let's just see what we can do with this, and I think it's going to work. I'm telling myself it's going to work because it's just there for future expansion. I think it's the best way to be and the best way to go. So you're spinning around that way. Making sure that all of this is clipped together, because I do not want this to smash Ninjago on the move. So obviously this will, we could add in a lot of water to this section as well. We could do quite a bit to this. We could have the boat further back. There's quite a lot we could do. Obviously none of this is going to get placed properly, but yeah, with a lot of lighting, we could really make this as a very, very, very nice display. Waterfall stuff coming up top, waterfall falling all the way down the wall into this. There's a lot of other Ninjago stuff that could be got and done. And then to make it look like a theme park, you just need the Monkey Kids Ferris wheel. I think that's the key to that. Right, one down. I just don't know the old fishing store now. The old fishing store wouldn't work with that. That all needs to be its own theme. But that could potentially be our water. Potentially. So on here we've got lots of these little bits and pieces with regards to the stuff up the top. Yeah, the individual bits I will put in here, because that one goes underneath the shelf, okay, but I just don't know if the others will. It's deceiving. I don't know if I've got more space from the shelf. I haven't got the tape measure. I haven't even eyeballed it. Oh, down. I just don't know if we have more space. I think we will have more space, but I just don't know with that shelf if it's less than the roof that I've got at the moment or more. Now this one gets not a chance. Not a chance. Is that? Oh, actually, no. It's definitely not going to fit. And we are missing a tier, so no, definitely not going to go underneath there. But we have got space here. This is the higher side because there's no shelf. So maybe it goes here. Maybe that's where the Ninjago goes, because the Rivendell would fit underneath there, as with the Jurassic Park. And this is the stuff that needs expansion. So I could put the Rivendell underneath, same principle, load of green and nice water and all that kind of thing. But it goes over on these tables, so we start it here. And then we've got to figure out then which configuration looks better. The table going across or the table sticking out. So that's the decision made. So Ninjago has been down there for no longer than 37 seconds. And it's already moving again, because it's just not going to work there. But let's get these last few bits over there. Yeah, that does make more sense, having it around that way. Use the height, build all the bits and pieces up. I could put shelves in higher then if I want to, and I can actually drill and screw into this back wall. Because again, it's all been painted over there, so yeah, we're alright. We're alright with that. Ninjago, 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 Ninjago. Ninjago boat, minifigure, Ninjago. Yes, 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 nice. Right, that is that done. That is down, and we now know it's definitely not going to work. So, it's so hot up here, and this camera is ridiculously warm as well. Harry Potter stuff needs to go back in, and we know the architecture stuff needs to come back out. But we are finishing, obviously, the upload with these base plates, aren't we? So I'm not going to shortchange you on that. This will be base plated in this video. I'm just trying to be clever to think, can I start the next upload and then come back to this after? Because I think this is just going to take forever, and it's do the file sizes and all that kind of thing. Now I've got a little bit of recycling to do. I've actually got to get rid of all the cardboard and that nonsense down there. So I will do that now. Then I'll see what the time is. And then I'll make the decision of what way we're going to go. Okay, so plan of attack, I think, for the end of this upload is all of this is cleared underneath. And then it'll finish on the tan base plate. I think that's the easiest way to do it rather than doing it in 2 separate uploads. It just makes no sense. And then I can focus on individual ones, getting the individual displays set up. So we have a plan. How long this is going to take, I apologise. So if this video is now really long, it's because something went wrong quite quickly. Now, I think the easy thing for me is just pull this table out as far back as it can. I can squeeze round, that bit comes off, and I just start taking stuff in, putting stuff back out again, crawling around the back, which is going to be good fun, because there'll be stuff there that I would have used for propping different bits and pieces up. All that can then go behind, and then hopefully then, the only thing, there shouldn't be anything here, because, well, the only thing that might have to stay there is the purple box for now, because I don't know whether just to throw this over to this side or what to do with it yet. So all the other stuff that's there, like this, for example, this Lego House exclusive brick, that can be now part of the Miniland tour. So it even comes with an exclusive tile, I do believe, as well. Because it obviously is a 6 brick machine print off. And it just makes sense, because that now could just go on that table with a couple of the other architecture sets. I've just eyeballed the Colosseum as well. It is huge. But I think, yeah, Colosseum at the back, smaller sets in front, simple, effective display, and it's just different. It's just another different zone that you would get in a theme park. And I've been going on for ages about Miniland, and then potentially a later date, we put a table underneath this table, and the Miniland continues on with some of the Marvel stuff, some of the Star Wars stuff, and all that kind of stuff that I've yet to buy. But as it stands right now, I've got stuff. I don't need to spend any money. I might as well get it on display. So I think what I'm going to have to do is, you will go to a time lapse in a second or so, is I need to get the stuff onto this table anyway. So we need this out of the way, because if I catch this, this is just going to rip everything off, and that will not be fun whatsoever. The Ninjago boat needs to come over straight away before that gets damaged. So let's grab that first. That can be, because this was 100% complete and it did not get damaged. It did not get damaged when the table snapped in half, and somehow it now looks like this. Now it's been jumped on by the cats. I've knocked it with different things, moving it too many times. So this needs to be sorted out as well. But that now finally, well, it fits under the shelf as well. Won't get knocked, won't get damaged. And I've just got to find the pieces that are broken, because there's dragon faces over the front. I'm an idiot. Absolute idiot. Right, you go up there a little bit higher. That is the first bit that will be going in. That will be, that is the noise you don't want to hear. That will be the next bit that's going in. So the bottom of the box has just opened up, hasn't it? Oh. Anything that's tan, back in you go. That's mine. That's there. I need those and that. So that needs to stay there. See, there's a dragon's head. Ghost, I think that might be Ninjago. That's a tree, I think that's Ninjago. I haven't got a clue. Now that goes on the front there. So we're 50% complete again at the front. Just these bits. It's annoying. Really, really annoying. That boat is an amazing thing actually. It makes a really nice display. Right, I've got a little lac table here. Potentially the top of that could just be used underneath. I don't know, they're different thicknesses, but potentially for now it could work. But got the cardboard out of the way. There's still plenty of other recycling to do over here, but easiest way of doing it. Right, so the swearing is about to start. So you're going to go to a time lapse, and you're going to see me crawl under and over loads of times, loads of boxes and stuff are going to go in. It's nothing going to be that thrilling. I'm going to get stupidly hot, and I'll catch back up with you once I've done it. Right, that has taken forever. I am roasting hot. So, yes, easy enough. Hopefully you've seen what I've just done. Everything I didn't need has gone in some sort of fashion. It's just basically been thrown back in there. I just can't be bothered to try and keep putting it back in neat. As soon as it comes back out, it falls out anyway, so it can just stay in there and we'll just hope for the best. I have just pulled out this though. This is pretty cool. So I've just got the architecture stuff out. We've got the Home to Brick set. We've got that set. Got the Shanghai set there as well, some random minifigures, and if you spotted it, the Lego house set, which is in full working order. So yeah, perfect. Hopefully now the floor looks worse than what it is because one of the boxes I had used as a rubbish box for a live build and just to keep them off the floor. I've just pulled all of that out before I put the box back in, so I've got a lot of rubbish on the floor, so I can just get rid of the internal bags. That's what these have suddenly appeared from. So I will push that back. I won't do it as another time lapse because it's just going to bore you too much. So I will push that back, clean the floor up so it all looks neat and tidy. Found the third one of those, so that was in hibernation in there, so we can really do some sort of Winter Village type crossover thing because we've obviously got that little thing just in there. And I have just found all the way over from Canada these customs, so these are pretty cool. Don't know what brand they are. I think it's just their own. I don't know if they've just got the Lego pieces and got their own bit on, or if they are completely different, because you can always tell because the legs on them are a little bit loose. So yeah, that's not a print. That one might be, because those legs are very stiff. But yeah, these two are pretty cool. So even for third-party figures, they do look pretty cool, and they'll go over in the horror display. But straight away, if I just had that, like so, with a load of tiles around it, you can now instantly see what I mean about how that is in the right scale for a very nice mini land. That is exactly what I want to do. It's going to need the Colosseum with it as well, just to break it up. So big Colosseum behind it, these sets in front of it slightly smaller, and then we will be good. Now, annoyingly, I think there's a bit missing there, and there shouldn't be. Not happy about that at all. So because it should be layered, completely layered like that. So the colour has fallen off. So I spoke too soon. God, I've just put everything back. Because that was in a separate box. That was in the box I put back in first and just thrown all the pieces on top. Oh my days. Right, well, I'll do that all off camera. I'll get it all back out again, check it. I'll check in the architecture. In fact, I'll do that with you first. We'll get the architecture box on top, see if it's in there. If it's not in there, it must have fallen out in there, because all of this was under the table. This was underneath an Ninjago table and it broke. So all of this is actually all damaged and smashed anyway. Put this back this way. Yeah, it's going to need a little bit of. He's going to need a little bit of fiddling around, because he's literally going to have to box myself in, literally with boxes. it in here or not? Soon find out. So this is the architectural box. So when we fixed all the Ninjago, well, found the Ninjago pieces on the floor, all of these were underneath. Now we've got America, Shanghai's in there. Look at the state of all of these. Billund Airport is in, well, loads of pieces missing from that. Oh, this might now be a non-starter because I didn't think it was this bad. I tried to blank it out my brain that it was this terrible. And, well, it is. I hate that. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Right, I will figure out what I can do. This has now just got bad to worse, because I'm going to go back in, see if I can find the colour of what is actually missing. It isn't removable, so there shouldn't have been a piece that came off. The top bit comes off, and there's no way. Yeah. All right, leave it with me, and I will let you know exactly what's what in probably about an hour or two time. Well, that's not gone well. I've tucked in there and it's not there. So the only other place it could be is in this piece, because I've just picked it up and thrown it in there for spare pieces. But I'm sure I would have noticed something this size belonging to this. So it's not like I would have just launched it away, and I can't ever remember seeing it. So I don't know. I don't know if it's in maybe one of the Ninjago boxes and I've just not spotted it yet because it was just mixed in with all the really bright, vibrant colours. I'll tuck into them in a little while. Worst case, I think it's going to cost about £1, so it's not too bad because it's only a few pieces and it is just the one colour and it is the whole thing. So it's the bit that goes just up in there, sits on that bit, so it's basically one of those. That size is what it is, but it's just in deep orange. But it just happens to be right at the front, so that's going to really annoy me until that is fixed. You're going to go to another time lapse because I'm now going to pick up the rubbish, because I can now just start pushing this table back, stockpiling the bits and pieces that are going to go onto here. You can see the space that we're going to have underneath here. It's going to be absolutely enormous once I've picked up all the rest of the stuff that is just underneath there. So the only other thing that is under there is actually just that one box. The rest of it is just quick sort of pick up in the bin, off it goes, hence with all of that rubbish as well. Loads of minifigures on the floor. Then we can see how long you've been going for. And we are, I think, there or thereabouts achieved for what needs to be for this. So I just want to get the table back, get that bit out, do all that as a time lapse, and then I can just tidy some other little bits and pieces up off camera, walk around a little bit better, get a bit more recycling and all that kind of thing done. And then prep the next upload, which might be either this. Yeah, I don't know. And obviously we'll finish it with the base plates going down there, but I haven't got them yet, so I'm sort of clutching at straws on that. So time lapse for you, headless chicken mode for me, and we'll just get this table back and tidy it up a bit. Right, more progress has been made. I can see a floor appearing, and we also have, well, more space underneath here. This is the last bit that I just need to pick up. I need to put the pieces back, but again, they're like the spare bits from the treehouse. I just don't have any spare bits. Ninjago, obviously roller coaster bits and pieces with other stuff inside it, which I've got to go through. That is the next build, potentially, that beautiful purple thing just there. And then I have moved over the Christmas stuff underneath, obviously, so it's out the way. So at any point, I can now measure up this floor a little bit easier and just figure out how many tables that we need to do. And in fact, we will do that right now. That might be the perfect opportunity because I will forget. So if I say it out loud, at least we know. So obviously we're going from the wall at the top. We're going from the orange wall to this leg. I'll just do it underneath rather than on top so I don't damage the Lego. Width-wise, we can get a 120 in. We're actually 130 to be honest. And we'll go 130, that's easy, isn't it? Because these are 60. Yeah, so 120 across, minimum. Yeah, no problem. So we can get two tables this way. Yeah, because 120 stuck out would be more than that, because it'd be 60 and 60. So that's the easier way. That's the easier way of doing it. So yeah, we've got plenty of space. So I can get another 2 tables, but if they only come to there, we've got another gap problem. We've got quite a bit of an issue over on here, because we're now going to be creating, where are you? You're there. We're now going to have table number 1, table number 2, obviously, so it's a metre out, 60-60, and then basically where there's going to be nothing here. We're going to have a bigger gap than I thought, because it's only going to come to there. So we're going to have a gap here and then behind it. So this table can obviously come over. Then we've got to figure out what we're going to do in there. So there's going to be a little bit of research needed in a completely separate upload to the best tabletops to get for this. And then we can just tabletop all the way underneath. But yes, 2 tables there because, well, if we go by the rule of 2, Ninjago's doubled in space. Perfect. And then it'll be a table and a bit for whatever else, which is more than what we had. Well, for that, because at the moment that hasn't got a home whatsoever, so we're not doing too bad on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm now just going to tidy all of this up off camera, and the rest of this upload will finish here. But I might start another upload doing something else, so you might notice something in the background, or for future warning, if you see the next video and this doesn't have the background down, or at least you follow both videos, and you can let us know in that comment section, can't you? So I will catch back up with you in a couple of days when the base plates arrive for this display, and we can start going through some different colours. But everything else, we've got the basics done. I just need to tidy up a little bit just down here. We've got loads and loads of room, and there's a lot more space there now. So this looks absolutely huge. Obviously it's still messy and mucky, but all of this I will just take up. I won't bore you with a time lapse, so we'll go straight over to the new Star Wars section now. So that was supposed to be a super smooth transaction with the base plates all down that got ordered at the weekend to wrap up the end of this video. Now that obviously didn't happen, but something did get ordered. So that is how we're going to finish the video. We are going to unbox this. Now, worryingly, it is already open on the one side. So fingers crossed everything is actually in there. So we will, where should I put you? Put you back, hope for the best, put you there. See, you just want to go down the coaster track, that's the problem. Stay. Perfect. So, let's explore this for the first time and see exactly what is in there and how well packaged it is. Because obviously Lego now just come with these plain brown boxes. So, we have got this, we've got stuff. So the stuff that is in here, we have got this thing. God, this got some weight to it. So it is a display thing. I couldn't care less about that. Then we have got this. Now this is a hefty size giveaway. So that is item number 40695. This is for the Harry Potter bits and pieces. This will work fantastically well. Maybe as a little bit of a hidden Easter egg actually down here. So see how we go from Star Wars. Now we're going to be talking about something completely different. I bored you for that hour and a bit of Star Wars, and now all of a sudden I'm talking about Harry Potter. I think if I can squeeze it in, it might fit just in that gap just there. That would be fantastic. I can just move this over ever so slightly and just slot it just beside the hard knock, because it is got the pins on the side of that as well. I think that'd be a nice little Easter egg, because it is supposed to fit in. I might not put that bit on. I might just have that bit, because that is the shop that is located down that alleyway. So it'd be rude not to put it anywhere else. So I'll see if I can make that work. It might be a bit small, but that will be a future upload, obviously. Then the polybag, which at the moment I've got no desire for whatsoever, but the minifigure is always handy, and obviously that character, I think he wore that outfit anyway down in the alley. I'm sure these are redo characters regardless. So, the big one. Obviously the giveaway gave it away, didn't it, of what it actually was. And you can tell there's going to be some Harry Potter bits and pieces happening sooner rather than later. So this is in its own separate shipper box. Let's have a look. Figure out how to be stupid at the same time. Come on. No, I know what I need. I don't have one beside me. sure I do somewhere, but I can just rip the tape off, he says. That should come off fine. That should also come off half okay. Right, fantastic. There we go. So that was obvious. That's going to be the new Burrow, which looks in... To be honest, I don't care about the box condition as long as it's sealed. That is all I do care about. So that is that. So this, well, it has the greatest minifigure in the world, thanks to Jay's Toy Collection UK, and it brings back for... That's the Hulk. Some incredible memories of a trip that I have just been on to the Philippines for a hotel room that we stayed in where bits and pieces started to fall apart and bugs came in and things started to leak. So that is going to be a forever memory in my collection, and that's what I tend to do. That's how I collect these kind of things. I relate it to where they were bought or reasonings behind it, and then I just try and make a display out of it. So this has absolutely no use over there whatsoever, but I think it will go in our row of townhouses. So we will make it work within this. It'll just be a little bit of an Easter egg, and because the internals of this obviously goes to the giveaway purchase, that'll be over there, it's then a direct path between the two anyway. So that is actually how you could get from one bit of the theme park to the other as well. Instead of having the Harry Potter train, you can use the Flume network or whatever it is called. So might be a bit of an anticlimax if you've been waiting for the Star Wars stuff. That is still going to be happening. Going to start, I think, now I've thought about it a little bit more, with a mashup or merge or whatever of the sort of Tatooine type bar and restaurant area, and then have some back theming behind it. Maybe put the ghost there. What would make more sense is actually having the Black Falcon up across the back, and then maybe just having some wrong characters in there, because I do want it to be an actual bar area, as long as the new UCS set that is supposed to be coming is, and you have got the opportunity to see on the inside of it, and it does actually have the grand bar area, because I want that to be basically as a rooftop to the cantina. If not, it'll be a complete redo. Then we'll figure out how we're going to incorporate that with whatever else. If not, that might end up going somewhere else, still on display, but be more used as more of a display thing. And then yeah, we'll basically figure it out where we've got. But I have just completely run out of time to get this video uploaded and finish the Star Wars display. And like I said, well, this got ordered instead of the base plates. Not saying I forgot to order the base plates, I'm just saying they didn't get ordered. Right, so with that being said, that's where we're at the moment. I'm in the process of making another video that's following on to this anyway, with lots of other little displays. You might have spotted that some bits and pieces have moved, because we are Thursday now, and I think this started on Saturday, so it's been a good few days of just getting bits and pieces done. So I'm looking forward to getting tucked into this. This is 2,405 pieces, so it'll be a few hours build, and then I'll try and get that actually built up as soon as I can, and then have a little bit of fun installing it. So keep your eyes peeled for obviously the future uploads of the Disaster series, but that is it, and I am done. So if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But as always, thank you very much for watching. You lot take care, and catch you next one. Ta-da.